Nadia,
Hiya.
how are you?
Hey.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's a bit warm,
It
but I
is,
can't
yeah.
complain.
No, it's absolutely sweltering outside, so
Yeah.
it's amazing. So I want to get like straight into this. So
Yep.
you set up Nadia's therapy shed in 2017.
Yeah. So it's gonna be 3 years officially on July the 4th.
Wow. Okay.
So it's been 3 years. So 3 years ago on July the 4th, I quit my 9 to 5,
Oh my God.
took that great leap of faith that I know a lot of people are wanting to do, but unfortunately there is a lot of fear attached to doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
And and I did it, and I haven't looked back.
Wow. So what made you do the leap then? Because like you said, it is terrifying. So what like pushed you to do it?
Yeah, well, so the reason why I've kind of gone into therapy is because before having the shed, I was a trained addictions counsellor. So I
Okay.
worked in a rehab. So I was very, very into, well, all types of therapy, talking therapy. But then I just thought, oh, no, I want to try something different. I want to be my own boss. I want to set my own hours. That 9 to 5 slog was, I mean, it works for a lot of people
Yeah.
and it doesn't work for a lot of people equally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of like the fact that I'm my own boss, and I like the fact that I can take responsibility. I mean, it doesn't mean that I can't take direction from people. I can, but I do like being kind of in control. So having flexible hours, being my own boss, being able to have a cup of tea at 3 o'clock in the afternoon if I want to, um, and reaping all the rewards for all my hard work were some of the reasons why I took that leap of faith. And people do it when at different times, and some people need to really hate their jobs for years and years and years before they do it, or some people can just think, oh well, let's try something else. It definitely depends on, I think, on faith and belief in self as
Yeah.
well.
Massively. Yeah. So let's talk about Nadia's therapy shed. So what is it for the
Yeah.
people listening who don't know what it is?
So Nadia's therapy shed is, well, my clients don't like the fact that I call it a shed because they think a shed means a back garden with
Yeah. Tools.
tools and
Yeah.
lawn mowers and stuff shed. So I mean, it is a cabin, so it's a fancy shed.
Okay.
And in this shed, which is lovely and air conditioned for weather like this, I mean, unfortunately, due to government guidelines, I haven't been able to open on the 4th of July just yet, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll open when the time's right. I offer a range of therapies, from massage therapy, Indian head therapy, back flower therapy. I'm in the middle of doing some reflexology training, meditation, and Reiki, which is energy healing.
Okay. So what is because I've heard of all of those, but what's back flower therapy? I've never heard of that.
So back flower therapy is, so basically, have you heard of rescue remedy?
No. What's
You
that?
Okay, so you might, so if you go to Tesco or Sainsbury's, and you go in there like, I think it's by the over the counter medicines, so by the hay fever stuff
Yeah.
and the painkillers, and it's in a yellow box, and it's basically an essence from flowers, so it's a liquid that
Okay.
you can actually take underneath your tongue, or you can swallow the little sweets, or you can roll on yourself. So it's a liquid that's made from flowers, so it's completely natural, and it is used to help balance any emotional imbalances that people may be suffering from.
Okay.
So predominantly, I do all my treatments work on the basis to help promote relaxation and stress.
Okay.
So as you can imagine, I have a lot of people who come to me who are stressed or anxious. You know, stress, anxiety, depression, you know, especially this time, this moment in time is on the rise. So I am expecting to see a lot of people come to me when it is safe to do so. So what the Bach flower essence will do is, if you take it underneath your tongue, it will help balance out any emotional imbalances like stress, anxiety, anger,
Okay.
impatience, anything like that. So I will make that up in front of the client. So I'll have all these little bottles of different essences, and I'll mix it up with water
Okay.
and a tiny bit of alcohol to preserve. I mean, if it's safe for the client to take alcohol, then I'll put a tiny bit in to preserve it. If I'm working with, say, an alcoholic, then I won't be putting any alcohol
Yeah.
in it, and just asking the client to take it sooner rather than later, and to keep it
Okay.
in the fridge.
Ah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So what sort of like, so for every, like we're talking like generally now, what sort of training have you had? Because I saw you went to India, didn't you? You did some stuff out there,
Yes.
yeah?
Oh yes. I did some sound healing in India.
Oh, wow.
Have you heard of Tibetan singing bowls?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, with the bowls, I don't have any right now because it was a bit of a struggle to well, distribute from India to the UK,
Right.
because the bowls were about 8 kilos, and because I was traveling after my course, I I already had a heavy rucksack on. I didn't feel like carrying an extra 8 kilos around with me.
Yeah.
um and then once we got back from India, we were, well, we were right in COVID. So
Okay.
my tutor was really worried about sending over the bowls to me, because he thought that they might get lost or damaged, through postage with everything that's going on. um so I've done a bit of sound healing in India. I started off by seeing my own massage therapist who runs a college. The college is called Jade College in Northamptonshire,
Okay.
and I was still, working as a counsellor in the rehab, and I said to her, "Oh, I fancy something a bit different, something along the therapy, industry. Do you think I'd be good as a massage therapist?" And she was like, "Oh my god, you'd be amazing, because I'm sociable and I'm personable."
So
So I mean,
when
I
was
knew.
this? What year was this then? Was it before 2017?
Yeah, so
Okay.
this was in, oh goodness me, so it was, just probably 6 months before I opened, so
Okay.
2016.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And yeah, and then luckily I knew her, so I applied for the college, got in, and yeah, and then we made a start. So I started off with your standard diploma in massage,
Right.
and then I headed off. Oh, and then I did like pregnancy massages with her, and Hopi ear candle
Wow.
treatments, and then I did Indian head massage with them, and then I went off to London, because it's always good to train with different people,
Yeah.
as well. Different teachers have different ideas, so it's good to get the best out of all of them. So I went to London and did some training with Gateway Workshops, and so I did a deep tissue massage with them. I did hot and cold stone massage, and warm bamboo with them. And
Wow.
I also um, learnt how to facilitate meditation sessions as
Wow. So
well.
it sounds like a massive range of like things that you guys do.
Yeah, yeah. It's huge. It's huge, and I think it will only expand, Valve.
Yeah,
I
no,
think it
because
will only.
I'm thinking like, what else is there? I'm sure there's. I don't know much about it. I'm sure you could go into other areas as well. Is there anything you've got your eye on, or anything you want to do?
Yeah, there is. So I am. Oh, I wasn't really going to tell anyone, but I might as well. So I am. So my clients my clients are going to be very, very excited to hear that I will be going into doing some physiotherapy training.
No way.
Now,
Okay.
a little bit different,
Right.
but a little bit the same.
Okay.
So, you know, physiotherapy is more medically allied. You know, I can, you know, at the moment, massage therapists are not able to work in hospitals, and we don't work in the NHS, even though I'm assuming that there are a lot of NHS staff that are going to, you know, would benefit from having some
Yeah.
massage and some training at the moment. So as far as I'm aware, you know, the NHS aren't employing any massagers at the moment or any holistic therapists at the moment. So yeah, I am hoping to go into doing a bit of physiotherapy training as well. But I don't really want to talk too much about that because
Wow.
yeah, I'm sure you'll hear more from me soon once that's all confirmed.
That's amazing though. Like, yeah, that's because that's a massive part that you could like add to your arsenal and add to your what you can offer to your clients.
Yeah,
So
totally.
what would a typical day look like for you, like pre-lockdown and before this we were all like in isolation? What would a day look like for you?
So I am I solely work by myself. So at the moment I don't have any employees. But again, you know, as time goes on, I will probably be employing people to help me out. We are having an extension at the moment on our house, and which has made me think about having an extension on the shed as
Okay.
well. So my day-to-day will look a little bit different if I have other people in. So at the moment, well, pre-lockdown, so as I said, I work by myself, so I'm in charge of my diary, I'm in charge of making appointments, I'm in charge of the cleaning of the shed. I'm the cleaner, I'm the receptionist, I'm the I'm the accountant, I'm
Admin.
the therapist. Yeah, so I do it all. So yeah, so typically yeah, my days do look different, but you know, I'll have some people get quite surprised by this, but I only see a maximum of 3 or 4 clients a day.
Okay.
The reason why I see either 3 or 4 depends on what they're having, and you know, giving a full body massage, or maybe some people want a little bit extra than a full body massage, so full body massage and another treatment you know, is quite strenuous on the body. So I don't like to be too tired for any of my clients. I always say to them, you know, I want the last person to feel as good as the first person did.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's only fair, you know, my clients are paying good money to come
Yeah.
and see me, so it's only fair that they get, you know, a you know, a good treatment.
Yeah.
So I only see between 3 and 4. It's 4 if I'm having an energetic week, or if I think I'll be having an energetic week if I'm, you know, booking way in advance. But yes, usually 3 people. So I'll get up, make sure that the shed is nice and clean and tidy, and all my towels are prepped, and all the all the I was going to say ingredients, all the materials are
Material.
prepped, you know, oils and that kind of stuff, candles and music, everything, the environment and the ambience is just right. And then I'll have a client come in, and we'll have a treatment. We'll if it is a new client, then we'll have a consultation first. I'll kind of get to know about them. We'll kind of build up a little bit of a rapport, which will be lovely, and then we'll go into the treatment. And then after the session, they may choose to book again. They may choose to give me some feedback, which is always lovely, just how they felt and stuff, which is always really positive. Yeah, and then I tidy up, change the towels over, make sure the shed's all nice and clean and anti-backed, and it'll be even more anti-backed
Yeah, of course, yeah.
when when I can reopen. But you know, just clean and tidy. And in between taking appointments, taking inquiries. A lot of people will ask me how they can manage with their mental health without coming to see me, which again I'm really open to talk about because I've got my counselling background as well. I don't tend to counsel my clients, but as you can imagine, when people come in for some therapy, they get lovely and relaxed, and then they start thinking about things that are happening at home, and then and it's perfectly normal for people to to and talk to me. And the great thing about me not counselling them is that I can listen to them, but I don't have to respond in a counselling way. And plus, I'm able to kind of protect myself from any tough stories that I might hear. And if there is anything tough that does come to the shed, then I can refer them on to someone else, and I can look after myself as well. So I'm really glad that I've got that counselling background as well.
Yeah, definitely. I was literally just about to say, Nadia, that it's useful that you've got that background because you know what to do in that situation.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's why I went into therapy that's why I've gone from counselling in a rehab to, if I'm going to do this by myself, then going into kind of another form of therapy, touch therapy, where I do need a lot of those skills which are transferable to obviously the shed. And then if I go into physiotherapy as well, I do
Which we're
know
not
that
talking about. We're not talking about physiotherapy.
oh no, we're not talking about
It's fine. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good stuff. These are really good. Oh god, I really feel like I'm bigging myself up right now.
No, it's amazing. Like, you should. Like, all the stuff you're doing is incredible.
Yeah, I was talking to someone yesterday, and I was like, oh, like, I hope they don't think I'm boasting. And then I was like, nah, it's not boasting, it's growth. It's
No,
growth.
exactly.
It's not arrogance, it's growth. That's what they
Exactly.
say,
You've
isn't
got to
it?
be your own cheerleader.
Yeah, oh, totally. And I think you'll see my top at the moment. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Believe in yourself. And it's just so nice to, I mean, I'm not going to advertise like Primark or anything, but it's, it's really good to just kind of, make sure that, for me, to make sure that I'm doing something a little bit each day to lift my spirits up, especially during COVID.
Yeah, massively. Yeah. So do you use your own like therapies and sort of services on yourself or like on your husband? So does he come into it, or does he like sort of use it?
Yeah. So my husband doesn't actually like a massage,
And he's
unfortunately.
married you.
Because so many people have said to him, oh, like, you're so lucky being married to a massage therapist.
Yeah.
You can get massages anytime you want. He says I hurt. So, but no pain, no gain. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true at all.
That's
No
right.
pain, no gain. If any therapist said that to you, then
Yeah, you'd rub,
no.
wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, if anyone has had a deep tissue massage, they will understand that there is pain
Yeah.
attached to the massage, and it is good to be in a little bit of pain. But I work on the basis where I don't want my clients to be in too much pain, because if they're in too much pain, then they're going to tense up involuntarily. And
Yeah.
if they've got tense muscles and I'm trying to work on relaxing the muscle, it's counterproductive, and it's going to be really difficult for me, and they're not going to really enjoy the session, and they're not going to get much benefit. So I do try to relax my client as much as I can. But yes, there is pain involved in a deep tissue massage. Matt he really likes an Indian head massage. And he has attended some of my meditation sessions as well, which, I mean, I meditate every day.
Yeah.
Whether I'm in the shed or not, it's a practice that I do every day, and that I've been doing for the last eight years.
Okay. So
So
how's it helped you then, like meditation? Because I've recently, I don't know, maybe in the last 6 to 8 months or so, I've recently got into it. So I'm relatively new because my dad's a physiotherapist. So yeah, so
oh, what a small world.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So like growing up when I was younger, like playing football, sporty, I just go, oh, dad, my hamstring hurts. And he'd get the table out and he'd like massage me. And like you said, having a deep tissue, there is pain involved, but
Yeah,
you feel like on cloud nine afterwards.
yeah.
So what I wanted to ask you was, what benefits have you had from like meditating for those people like myself who are either new to it or have never done it?
Yeah. So as you can see, I suffer with alopecia, and I've been suffering with alopecia, which is hair loss, since I was about 15. And the thing that kind of came with me losing my hair as a young woman was mental health issues.
Okay.
I experienced a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, and a, a heap load of anger, a lot of anger. I was so angry with the world. Um, and then when I was 23, I'm 32 now. Unfortunately, I did get diagnosed with cancer. And through the cancer, I mean, I'm not going to say I was fine. I was poorly, but my mental health seemed to be okay because I was focusing on the cancer. I wasn't really
Okay.
focusing on anything else. I was focusing on the cancer, so I seemed okay. It was only until I got the all clear that my anxiety had risen. And I mean, it's so common for cancer patients to experience this. It's almost like, not in a bad way, I mean, you're in remission, and then you think, okay, what now? Like, what's going to happen? Who's going to look after me? Like, what if I get it? And you get all these questions come up. So there's kind of like a mixture of things that have happened throughout my life which has exacerbated my mental health conditions. And what I've found, I've been on antidepressants, and I don't knock people who are on them. They just weren't right for me because I felt very numb on them. And I've had obviously counselling, which again, wonderful, great, but I can't depend on a therapist for the rest of my life. So that's why I do practice regular meditation. Meditation will help me be in the present moment a lot of my time, because when I'm thinking about the future, that's when I get anxious. When I'm thinking about the past, that's when I get a bit depressed. When I'm thinking about the present, the here, the now, that's when I'm a-okay.
Yeah.
So that's what meditation helps me to do. It helps me to come back to the moment. And so that's what I do when I've got my eyes closed. And the more I do it when I've got my eyes closed, the more I can do it when I've got my eyes open and I'm at work or I'm faced with a stressful situation. We've got a leak, or we've got the builders in, or my car's broken down, or something like that. I'm able now to bringing tools that I've learned from my meditative practice into managing day-to-day life and day-to-day stresses. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's why I meditate.
No, because I've sort of noticed that when like I'm concentrating on the breath and you're just in the
Yeah,
moment, it does help you a lot, and you can feel, because I know most people do it like cross-legged with their back straight, but I like doing it on my bed and just laying down, and it's
that's
different,
fine.
and it's like it's how it works for different people, and I found that I need to do it every day, so I'm kind of like lacking. But yeah, I think when I do it, it's sort of like just a nice calming experience. You've got like your phone playing sort of like waves crashing, and you just, in that moment, you're just calm and serene and just happy.
Yeah, because when you're in the moment, like when you're in the present moment, like there's nothing to worry about. Like life's good, everything's good in the moment, in
Yeah.
the present moment. It's when we start thinking about the future, that's when people start getting a bit anxious and a bit worried, because we don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, it is like you were saying, that you need to do it every day. The thing
Yeah.
with meditation, it's a discipline.
Yes, of
It's
course. Yeah.
it's not something that I always feel like doing. And some people say, oh, I feel so relaxed after meditation. Yes, meditation will give you relaxation benefits, but sometimes I don't feel relaxed after meditation. Sometimes things have been brought up for me and I feel really quite pissed off, and I'm glad I feel like that, because it just means that stuff that's coming up, that's been buried in my psyche, is just coming up, and I'm more aware of it,
Yeah.
because first step to change is having an awareness. So I'm glad that I don't always feel so zen after my meditation, and that's normal, because not everyone is going to feel so zen. And I think that's why people stop meditating, because it's really hard. It is hard. It's hard to quieten the mind, especially when you do have like a racing, erratic, crazy mind, or if you are prone to suffer with some mental health issues. And people don't want to keep at it. So there are days where put my hands up. I've been doing this for like eight years now. There's days where I can't be bothered, but then I do reap the benefits from it, because the majority of the time, I'm not a saint, but the majority of the time I do keep my vibe high. So I keep my energy high. I keep really positive, and because if I'm on like a lower vibration, then it's not good for me.
Yeah, no, and I think it's amazing that you know that, because like you said, like if you're looking at the past, that depresses you, and if you're looking at the future, that gives you anxiety. So the fact that you know that is like a superpower in itself.
Thank you.
Like that's just like, because like I wouldn't realize that, and I think what you've gone through and what you've like experienced just shows you how A, brave you are, and B, how inspiring you are, because not many
thank
people,
you.
but like not many people can go through that and then come out the other side smiling. And
Yeah.
from like what I see talking to you now, it seems like you're in a really happy place.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, I know we're going through a pandemic, and I do feel sad for everyone that has lost loved ones, and and that's very real. But at the same time, I do need to keep positive for my own
Yeah,
mental state.
massively. Yeah, so you can't look after someone else if you're not looking after yourself.
A hundred
So
percent, 100%. And I do always say to my clients, the more I take care of me, the more I can take care of you. Because people will say, oh God, Nadia, like, I can't believe you only see 3 people a day. Like, you can rise that up, you can make loads of money, you can do this, you can do that. And I'm like, well, no, I can't do that, because I'll be tired, I'll
yeah,
be knackered. And if I'm not looking after me, I won't be able to look after my clients. And there is that analogy of having your cup
of course,
pretty
yeah,
much full, so you can pour into other people's cups.
cups,
If
yeah,
my cup is empty, I'm not going to be pouring into anyone's cup. And if I do have an empty cup, I'm not the best wife, I'm not the best, I've got a dog, I'm not the best dog mum, I'm not the best daughter, I'm not the best sister,
yeah,
I'm not the best friend. So I think people worry so much about taking care of themselves, because they see it as a selfish act.
yeah,
But for me, I see it as the most selfless act you can do ever, because the more you take care of you, the more you can take care of other people.
yeah,
And that's why I've set up the shed, and that's why people come to me, so they can take care of themselves, so they are a better husband, they are a better wife, they are a better sister, they are a better daughter, they're a better employee as well. I mean, organizations need people who are going to be have their stress levels as low as possible, because low stress levels equal better performance at
yeah.
work. Or actually, don't quote me on that, but
No, I agree, because I was in a company. It must have been about a year ago, I think, and they had a policy where they have an opt-out mental health counsellor.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to go to a mental health counsellor, you have to like physically go to your boss and say, look, I don't want to do it. And I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
Just to have someone there. And I totally agree. Like, if you are happy with your job, then you are likely to give better results and be more productive and be actually happy to go into work and want to be there.
Yeah. And you'll naturally be good at it as well, won't you?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Because when you're happy about something and you want to be in that line of work, you are more eager to go on, you know, self-development courses or continual CDPs, continual development courses, you know, and you'll want to better yourself.
Massively, yeah. So
everyone's a winner.
winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
So I'd just like to end with 3 questions about the past, present, and future. So the first question is about the past. So what advice would you give a 15-year-old Nadia? Well, I suppose it'd be Linetti, wouldn't it? Not Lucas.
Yeah, Leonetti. Yeah.
So what would you give a 15-year-old? What advice would you give a 15-year-old you? What would you say to her?
Oh, bless me, at 15. I would definitely say, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, help is a sign of strength rather than a sign of weakness. No one's going to think you're silly. No one's going to think you're stupid if you ask for help. Also, before I kind of spoke about my vibe, you know, all my aura that I'm giving off. So your vibe attracts your tribe. So the more positive you are.
I love that, by the way. That's amazing.
It is.
That's stolen. I've stolen that.
Oh my God, I didn't make that up. But you know, your vibe attracts your tribe. So the more positive you are and happy you are, the more or successful you are, or you know, or the more likely you're going to attract these people into your life. And it's okay if people leave you along the way. It's all right if friends distance you from you along the way. It's okay. It's not because you've done anything wrong in particular. It's because, you know, we all have our own journeys and we all have our own paths, and sometimes we outgrow people. One other thing that I'd probably tell my 15-year-old self is, you know, with the alopecia, it's going to be really, really tough, but keep on going. Because, you know, that phrase, you know, if it doesn't kill you, it definitely makes you stronger. And I'm a true believer in that. You know, I think that we can really gain a lot of wisdom from the wounds that we have in our life.
Yeah, massively. Yeah. So moving on to the present. So you've got a dinner party.
Yeah.
And you've got 3 people you can invite. Any 3 people in the world. It can be celebrity, non-celebrity, dead, alive, family member, non-family member, anyone you want, Nadia. Which 3 people would you go for?
I feel like I've got loads of people, not 3. But I would probably go for, so the first one is she's no longer with us. Her name is Louise Hay. She is a famous person, so she is an author. And she was one of the founders of the self-help movement. And you know, I'm all into self-help, and you know, I love a self-help book. You know, I learned so much from them. So I feel like she would be able to give me some wise words and would be able to help me with my journey even more. So that's my first person. My second person would be another author. He was born in India, and I think he moved to America. His name is Deepak Chopra.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah,
he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Like every time I see him on TV or YouTube, or you know, or I've been part of like one of his lectures or anything like that. Yeah, no, he's really cool. Yeah, he's got such a lovely way about him.
He's got a good vibe.
Yeah, really good vibe.
Really good vibe.
Yeah, really, really good vibe. And he's, you know, and he's very into writing books around, you know, achieving your full potential. and being the best person that you can be. And for me, I'm really into, I mean, if you haven't already noticed, I'm really into self-development. So I do strive to be the best that I can be and continue to learn on my journey. So Deepak Chopra, he'd be really cool.
Right.
And my last person, who is no longer with us, unfortunately, good old Freddie Mercury.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Again, super talented, one of the most talented rock singers, ever. I really like, I don't know if you've watched Bohemian Rhapsody,
I haven't yet.
the
No,
film.
it's on the list. I need to watch it. But apparently, it's amazing.
It's incredible. It's
Yeah.
so incredible. And I've always been a fan of Queen. And I think with him, he was very, from how they portrayed him in the film, and any research that I've done, you don't get that successful from doing nothing.
Yeah.
So he was very particular with what he wanted. He was very assertive as well. He learned how to say no if something wasn't good enough for him. And I really aspire to be like that. I mean, I'm getting better at it, with being assertive, but just understanding that it is okay to say no, and that you totally deserve better. And I think that I would be able to learn a few things from him as well.
So we've got Louise Hay, we've got Deepak Chopra, we've got
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury, and we've got Nadia Lucas.
Yes.
That sounds like a good dinner party.
Oh my God. Amazing. I feel really bad for like not including like any family or friends.
It's all right. I'll tell your husband. It's fine. It's all right. He'll be upset with you.
Oh yeah, I just assume that my husband Matt will be there, and people who have like family members who have passed,
Yeah.
bless them. I just assume that they'll all be there anyway.
So just to wrap up, just the last question to ask you, Nadia. In 2030, so 10 years time, what do you think you'll be doing? So what do you think you'll be? What do you hope? Do you think you'll be?
I think that the shed will be still really successful. I am hoping to employ maybe 1 or 2 people to help manage. Again, there will be an extension on the shed as well. As I was saying before about the P word that I'm not going to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we don't talk about.
No, I'm not going to talk about that. It is a little bit left field, and and I was kind of saying about the 9-to-5 slog. So if I do become a physio, then might be in a 9-to-5, but I don't know. We'll see. So obviously, because of my alopecia and the cancer and my mental health conditions, I do feel like I will need to give back to our fabulous NHS.
Yeah.
So I will be doing some work within the NHS or within hospitals and giving back, because I've taken so much from, I know we're not going to go into politics, but I have taken a lot from the National Health Service, and without them I wouldn't be here, like literally physically. I wouldn't be here today. So I think in the next 10 years, or in 10 years time, you will see me giving back in some sort of way.
That's amazing. I can't think of a more poignant way to end. Thank you so much, Nadia.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely to speak to you.